A French government official visits Tzu Chi's Humanitarian Ecotech Pavilion as the exposition in Taiwan. Beijing Tzu Chi volunteers go to Yi County to distribute scholarships and winter supplies to underprivileged students. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Margaret Lin. Thank you for joining us. The 2018 Taichung World Flora Expo officially kicked off on November 3rd, and it will be running for half a year. Tzu Chi is also there to promote environmental protection concepts.
It's the first day of the Flora exposition. The sun is shining bright with a large crowd, filling up the Holy Horse Ranch and Forest Park area.
有各国特色的一些建筑风格，等于说带小朋友他去看各国的风情这样子，然后里面的布置觉得还都很好。
好玩。
好玩哦，可是等车要等很久。
对，脚很酸。
Fortunately, there are many shaded spots provided by the green landscape, and the trails are nicely mapped out. People with physical disabilities can also easily move about the park.
Each space is quite convenient. Everything is going about quite smoothly. The setup has a very caring and warm feel to it. To us, it's very easy to access.
At the Fengyuan Huludun Park, the medical staff from the Taichung Tzu Chi Hospital is supporting the event by having on-site medical service stations, safeguarding the health of the tourists.
The majority of the cases are dizziness, mostly minor heat stroke situations, especially during noontime. So it's very important to keep on replenishing your water intake.
There are Jingxin multi-purpose folding beds at the medical station for people to rest on, a variety of emergency medications, and ambulances on standby.
There's a team of 80 medical personnel supporting the Fengyuan medical stations. In addition to having 3 medical stations, there are medical volunteers as well.
Doctors suggest that for the elderly or people with knee issues, they should remember to rest more throughout the visit. At the Flora exposition grounds, Tzu Chi has set up a Humanitarian Ecotech Pavilion. Tzu Chi volunteers warmly welcome the mayor of Saint-Paul-de-Lyon, France.
1,000 bottled waters, but 975 of it will be the seawater that we cannot use at all.
Taiwan has a plastic bottle recovery rate of more than 90%, and it can be recycled. The mayor from France placed a DaAi Technology PET bottle blanket on his shoulders and commented on how warm it was.
It's very comfortable.
Comfortable. Thank you.
I think it's such an amazing thing that you guys are able to transform water bottles into eco-friendly products like this, and that you guys have found out in the end 90% of these bottles can be recycled.
Especially in the areas of recycling and reuse, like the use of eco-friendly textiles, they can really learn from our techniques.
The focus of this visit is on the PET bottle recycling and remanufacturing technology of DaAi technology.
I'm very happy to have such an opportunity to really implement environmental protection concept through the Flora exposition to the world.
Tzu Chi showcased environmental protection concepts through the World Flora exposition, letting the world see its impact.
To help the flood-affected farmers in Myanmar, Tzu Chi conducted a 5-day mung bean seed distribution. While delivering love and care to the villagers, Tzu Chi also hoped to inspire their compassion to help more people in need. Carrying more than 1,600 bags of mung bean seeds one by one, this is the first day of Tzu Chi's mung bean seed distribution in Myanmar. The villagers came early in the morning to help transport the bags.
Most of the paddies were damaged, so if they did not come to distribute the seeds to us, we would have to go into town to buy them. It would have been a very difficult task.
Not only is the distance far away, but the financial struggle is even a bigger problem for them. This year, Myanmar was hit by severe floods one after another. Since the farmers have lost their harvest, each bag of bean seeds can greatly help them get through this difficult time. The female Tzu Chi volunteer goes back and forth to carry the 30 kilograms of bean seeds one after another.
These mung bean seeds are like treasures for the villagers. As a Tzu Chi volunteer, we should love what Dharma Master Zhen Yan loves and feel for those who are suffering. Being able to help them carry the bags, I feel very fortunate.
Besides receiving aid supplies, many of the villagers got to know Tzu Chi for the very first time.
This area was flooded 3 times and the paddy only has a tiny part remaining. I feel very grateful because we have suffered greatly, and now you have come to distribute bean seeds to us. We feel very happy.
Tzu Chi's love and best wishes for the flood-affected villagers has spread far and wide throughout Myanmar. On the second day of the distribution, Tzu Chi volunteers went to the village to distribute more than 3,200 bags of mung bean seeds. While the event was simultaneously conducted in 4 different places, Jingzi aphorisms were also shared with the villagers.
I am very happy. After reading these Jingzi aphorisms, I feel a lot more peaceful in my heart.
The local volunteer Wu San-din hopes to use his own experiences to inspire the villagers to do good deeds.
I believe in Dharma Master Zheng Yan, so my beans had a very good harvest and my business runs smoothly. I hope the farmers can follow in my lead in saving a handful of rice each day to help others.
The volunteer, who once studied at a college in Taiwan, volunteered to help with translating. She also decided to join the ranks of Tzu Chi volunteers.
Participating in Tzu Chi activities can not only help people in need, but also enrich our spirit and soul. Besides the Yangon area, there are other remote villages that need help as well.
那菩萨道呢，需要就是有因缘，就是我们的道场。你们现在呢是开道。 但愿当地人呢来铺路，让这一条道路呢会走得呢更宽更大呢，让帮助到更多的人。
The love of volunteers from overseas in Myanmar has helped the local farmers to overcome hardships in life. It is hoped that this great love can spread to more people in need. As the mung bean seed distributions, there were many areas where Tzu Chi volunteers respected the local customs. They also carefully checked the quality of the bean seeds before each distribution.
At 5 o'clock in the morning, the volunteers took off on Yangon in the dark toward the mung bean seed distribution site. When the volunteers arrived, everyone was busy with the arrangements of the site and confirmed repeatedly whether the number of seeds matched the distribution list.
This is my first time working with Tzu Chi. I'm very grateful to the Tzu Chi volunteers for caring so much about our people. In the process of communicating with the volunteers, I could feel the sincerity of everyone. I feel very joyful.
The village chief had gathered up villagers to help move the bags of bean seeds into the distribution site. Everyone worked barefooted, and there's a reason behind this.
Buddhism is their national religion, so when the village was first built, there needed first to have a Buddhist temple. It's custom for Burmese people to be barefooted, no shoes nor socks, in order to show their uttermost respect.
For the distribution, there are farmers from a total of 7 different villages who are coming to receive the bean seeds. In addition to Taiwan and Malaysia's Tzu Chi volunteers, Burmese entrepreneurs are also getting involved.
In fact, I was really surprised. I thought, wow, volunteers from Taiwan are capable of coming here to help our people out this much more than Burmese citizens are doing. So for me, if I have the abilities, I also want to help out just like Tzu Chi is doing. Or even more, I can introduce Tzu Chi to more and more people here in Myanmar.
Following the officials from the Ministry of Agriculture, Tzu Chi volunteers went into the warehouse where the bean seeds were stored. They carefully cut small holes in each bag to dig out a little bit of mung bean seeds. Before each distribution, the volunteers will always double-check the quality of the bean seeds.
I'm very grateful that you guys are distributing bean seeds to us. In the future, I will invite my friends to come and help out as well. Even though I don't have money, but I can still contribute by volunteering. As long as you need my help, I'm more than willing to follow you and help others who are in need.
In the process of the distribution, after each farmer took a bag of bean seeds, the volunteers immediately handed them a wooden stick. Then, when they were heading out the door, they would return the wooden stick back to the volunteers. What exactly is going on?
This is the traditional measuring system in Myanmar. When counting things, they would use wooden sticks instead of paper vouchers.
Each of the farmers had smiles on their faces while carrying the long-awaited bags of bean seeds. It's with great hope the harvest expected to be taking place in a few months will bring them even more joy.
Beijing Tzu Chi volunteers went to Yi County to distribute scholarships and winter supplies to underprivileged students. In addition to the financial assistance, they also organized some activities to develop students' reading habits.
Volunteers are working to distribute materials, first taking a bus from Beijing to Yi County. To do this work, everyone has to set out early in the morning.
The total number of participants in the assistant program is 162. It's a new record and shows that more people join each year.
At the Yi County No. 1 Middle School, volunteers are leading children in the sign language song. Aside from providing scholarship funds, there are also some winter supplies given out.
This quill is provided by our foundation. It comes from Changchun.
Through years of interaction, these school children and volunteers have built up family-like relations. To develop their regular reading habits, distribution of workbooks helps these children chart their growth.
Our children in rural areas have less communication with their parents. Some of them are from special families, and these children may feel lonely or confused. Through these activities, volunteers can give feedback to them and provide them with guidance and allow them to grow.
In hard-to-reach Yi County, volunteers are busy non-stop, meeting with vocational school students.
I met him last year and he didn't dare to say much. We met again this year and he seemed a little embarrassed, but he came over and I saw the change in him and his growth. I'm very happy. He has given me a lot and I'm also quite happy too.
Volunteers cherish the opportunity to interact with these students and show them that they are no longer alone.
A special ceremony was held to celebrate the 25th anniversary of the Buddhist Tzu Chi Stem Cell Center. At the event, some of the bone marrow recipients eventually fulfilled their wish to meet their donors. I come here to let you see that I'm tall and energized. Thank you so much.
In 2014, Lim Shok-jin was diagnosed with acute lymphoblastic leukemia and underwent countless days of chemotherapy. It was not until 2015 that she had the chance for rebirth. Because of this chance, she came to Taiwan from Macau across the sea.
I am honored to meet you today. It's the affinities from our last life. I hope that you will continue to be healthy and happy.
When I was doing stem cell transplants process, I felt that a force of enthusiasm inspired me. I hope that I will be as gentle as you. Thank you.
I have to hold back my tears. I feel that each day now are blessings. Thank you very much.
Chen Yajun is no stranger to blood cancer. Her mother had passed away due to blood cancer when she was 1 year old. The year when Yajun became ill, her children were 2 years old and 3 years old. To grow up with them is her wish. And this 100,000 of miracle was finally waiting for her.
Someone came to ask you to do this thing. If I don't do this, there's only fear, and fear that I have in my mind, I'm afraid of the unknown. But for others, this might be a very important thing.
I am grateful to him. He's very persistent and brave because it is not easy to do. I am lucky to have this chance. This is even harder than winning the lottery. It's very difficult. I am very blessed.
Although he saved Yajun, in fact, he saved our whole family. The life of our family is complete. Our children will not lack a piece of life. There will be no less puzzles in life. The development of the child is also because of the donor.
The 25th anniversary of Tzu Chi Stem Cell Center was witnessed the miracle of 12 pairs of life. Along the way, in addition to donors and recipients, the efforts of volunteers and the medical teams, the patient's life can be reborn and are given a new life.
One of the bone marrow recipients is 57-year-old Hong Ruoyi. She was able to find a bone marrow donor in a very short amount of time. However, behind this smooth process, there were actually some difficulties that her bone marrow donor had to overcome.
The person who phoned me said, "Congratulations." I thought it was from a fraud group, and I did not believe it. I then told the person I was busy doing something and I would call back.
Back then, Xie Guilan was 44 years old. She did not believe the notification that she was a match. However, after thinking about it carefully, she remembered that she had signed up for a blood drive in 1997. After discussing with her family, she decided to help people in need. Ms. Xie did everything possible to maintain health, but when she was about to travel from Kaohsiung to Hualien to donate her marrow, a typhoon upset the plan.
1 or 2 days before we set out, the government announced that Typhoon Tenbin would sweep through Taiwan. I was very anxious, as I worried that airlines would suspend operations and the transportation would be interrupted. Since they were waiting for me, I was afraid that something might happen if I did not go there. After ensuring that airlines suspended operations on the morning of that day, I decided to take the train.
Even though Ms. Xie had to spend a lot more time getting to Hualien, she felt very happy to do so. She was eventually able to give another family a second chance at life. 7 years ago, 57-year-old Hong Ruoyi had a traffic accident on her way to work. The unfortunate encounter changed her life.
I fractured my hand and then I had the surgery. After they gave me a blood test, they told me that I had a very low white blood cell count.
Ms. Hong recalled the day when she woke up. She was already in the hospital. She did not have any idea of how things happened. After having a follow-up checkup after surgery, she was diagnosed with leukemia. Thankfully, she was able to find a donor in a very short time.
I found 4 matched donors. The doctor selected a suitable one for me. I was able to find a successful match within 2 to 3 months. My husband did not know anything about this because I did not tell him. I thought it did nothing good if I let them know.
Worried that her family would get anxious about this, she did not let her husband know until she was going to undergo surgery.
She left home to work since she was very young, so she did not dare to tell her family if she had any difficulties. We have gone through all the hardships. Now I hope that my grandchildren and children can live a happy and healthy life.
Although he and his wife did not express love to each other even after his wife's illness, but apparently this experience has bonded them much closer than before. Now Hong Ruoyi takes part in volunteer activities with gratitude, hoping to give back to society. At present, the Buddhist Tzu Chi stem cell database is the second largest database in Asia, with more than 5,000 people receiving transplants. Every time the scene of a donor and the recipient are introduced to each other, it's a forever connection that has been made.
In a single day, I will ride my bicycle 300 kilometers a day. I will ride from Hualien to Luye, Taidong, and right back. This shows that I have a lot of physical strength.
Showing these medals, he's proud of his physical strength and endurance, as cycling such distances is a difficult battle. Chen Zhihao is a frequent triathlon competitor, and in 2005 donated marrow to save people, enduring long needles into his hip to provide stem cells.
I don't have health concerns about donating bone marrow. Instead, it stimulates me to take care of my body and be healthier.
His health has gotten better and better after the donation. Chen Zhihao successfully lost 18 kilograms and is in great shape, even serving as a coach for Tzu Chi University's cycling team. For those that want to follow in the same path, they must meet requirements such as being over 18 years old and in good physical condition. Women need to be more than 40 kilograms and men need to be more than 45. More than 95% of marrow transplants are peripheral blood stem cells. The donors must need to receive 5 doses of white blood cell growth hormone, and without surgery or anesthesia, blood is drawn and stem cells are removed.
When we donate stem cells by the method of donating blood, they are taken out, and generally speaking, the process is very safe, as globally more than 1 million bone marrow stem cells have been transplanted this way.
We're doing precision tests to increase the detection of different genes, which shows the difference between the donor and the patient's genetic type. This leads us to find which donor is the most suitable for donating to a patient.
At present, there are more than 56,000 people in Tzu Chi stem cell database looking for a pairing, and more than 5,000 cases of peripheral blood stem cell transplants have been completed. Alex Watt, an ophthalmologist in the Philippines, is a successful case of international pairing.
Once half only, half tablet. You're just 6.25 milligrams.
After the bone marrow transplant, recovery can be quite good. This was the case of a Filipino doctor who joined TIMA for 20 years. He worked for the poor, treating their cataracts in the ophthalmology clinic. In April last year, he was discovered to have acute lymphatic leukemia.
This time I learned what it feels like to be a patient, what they're thinking.
When roles are swapped, the mood is really different. At the beginning, Dr. Alex Schwa received chemotherapy in the Philippines, and at the same time saw a match from the Tzu Chi stem cell database, where he was given a new lease on life.
On the third attempt, we found a pairing. It was on December 24th. This is Christmas in the Philippines. We say this is my best Christmas present.
After the bone marrow transplant, his lymphocytes returned, and after 7 months of treatment, Dr. Alex Hua finally returned to the Philippines. On the eve of his return, he especially went to the Jingsobo to pay tribute to Dharma Master Zhenyan to express his gratitude.
It's not like someone else who had a heart attack and no chance to come back. I was different, and I think that I'm very lucky and happy to have the chance to change myself.
At the moment, there are more than 3,000 overseas cases of a successful matching, accounting for more than 60% of the cases from the Tzu Chi stem cell database. This means it is like a treasure house of hope. Even Nordic countries of Denmark, Sweden, or New Zealand in the southern hemisphere have people in need.
For the most part, humans are divided into different races. It may be just a coincidence, but there are only a few donors who have stem cells that are compatible with non-Chinese patients. Having a more diverse database can definitely help more patients.
At this stage, the Buddhist Tzu Chi Stem Cell Center is seeking more cooperation with those in the Philippines, Indonesia, and elsewhere. Regardless of race or nationality, these donations can help those in need gain new life.
Suzhou Tzu Chi Clinic held a 2-day event with partners where experts came to share appropriate ways to fight against cancer with patients and their families. Thank you and see you next time.